I mean, the two documentarians, they go through the whole series to try to find who actually drew on the car.
Can we?
What? They say the show.
Yeah, but this is a different show.
Welcome to Surafel and Austin's show Around the Plant. Today we're going to be reviewing American Vandal, the Netflix mockumentary series. They've just released season 2, and it's on Netflix now for you to watch.
The first season came out around this time last year and was kind of hailed as this really great satire of true crime documentaries. Whereas most things were actual, really serious murders. American Vandal season 1 was about a crime in which someone went into a high school faculty parking lot and spray painted 27 onto 27 cars, which is already kind of sets the bar for the kind of just juvenile humor that you'll get throughout the rest of the show. But it's kind of brilliant.
It was really funny.
I think part of what makes it so brilliant is the fact that it can start off in such a ridiculous, heightened SNL sketch of an idea of a premise, and then get to a place where it's like making some pretty poignant social commentary that kind of comes out of nowhere and just sort of attacks you.
And then the whole time you're just sitting there like, I gotta find out who actually did this.
You are genuinely, like, the entire time you're watching the show, you're just like racking your brain thinking, okay, if it wasn't them, then maybe, like, you're trying to solve this puzzle as it's being laid out in front of you. You get so enthralled over such a silly idea. Like, it's almost like a show that kind of dares you to say, take me seriously. And then you think there's no way I'm going to take you seriously. And then by the end of it, you're absolutely taking it seriously.
So season 2, they started off with a large prank where somebody put laxatives in the school's lemonade.
Well, there is a vandal. This season, it's a vandal who is a serial vandaler. And it's not vandalism in the sense of spray painting something, but the first one is like biomedical warfare. Like, it seems like something that's very, very illegal.
Yeah, putting anything in any people's drinks is quite illegal, and he did it to the whole school, so I would say that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and it resulted in something called the brownout, where exactly what would happen if you put laxative in a public drink, that's what you think would happen is exactly what happens, and it's called the brownout for obvious reasons. And that's just one of a series of crimes that happens throughout the season. And the person, it's kind of like a serial killer type of thing, where it's kind of like the Zodiac killer, where you don't know who it is. It could be anyone. And they have an alias. And the alias of the assailant is the Turd Burglar.
Now, the Turd Burglar leaves his cards at all the scenes. He also operates an Instagram account where he takes pictures of and publicly shames his victims.
You come for the juvenile humor, and then you leave with a pretty biting social commentary that's way more, I guess, like, it's not like Black Mirror, where you watch it and then you're like, okay, grandpa, whatever. But, like, you see that and you're like, oh, wow, that's actually, like, that really hit me. Like, yeah, that's actually, like, very poignant.
All right, so who's your favorite character?
It has to either Ming or Dylan Maxwell. Like, Ming is just the man. Like, everyone loves Ming. But that's actually another thing between season 1 and season 2. The main character, the Vandal, is just like, season 1, he's just so much funnier than season 2.
Yeah.
Like, Dylan Maxwell is just so much funnier than Kevin McLean. It's like not even really comparable. But
yeah, my favorite character I'm going to have to go with is Dylan Maxwell. He's absolutely hilarious. I think the actor is great in that role. And I've seen him in a couple other things I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I always think, oh my God, he drew the.
Yeah, like, I've heard people say that he takes mouth breathing to a high art, and like, he totally does. He's like the raw essence of Channing Tatum. He's just so stupid, but he's great. I love him.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate American Vandal?
I judge the two seasons a bit differently. I think the first season I enjoyed a bit more because in the first season, the main two documentarians they're students of the school that they're working in, whereas in the second season, they're kind of transplants and they're going to a school that they're not in. So you sort of, in the first season, they have personal stakes in the story, whereas in the second season, they're just kind of audience avatars who are just learning things so the audience can learn them. So I think I like season 1 a bit more.
So I would definitely give it probably an 8 out of 10. I thought it was extremely hilarious. My only thing with Netflix shows is I always wish that they were longer. I feel like the 10 episodes or even
It's only 8
it was 8?
for both seasons. Yeah, it's 8 episodes and they're half an hour each.
See, that makes it even worse because a lot of times, you think 13 on some shows like Daredevil and Iron Fist or Luke Cage, isn't even enough. So I wish it would have been longer. And then season 2 only has 30-minute episodes, whereas season 1 was about an hour long apiece.
Really?
Yeah.
For American Vandal?
For American Vandal.
They were always half an hour.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were like close to an hour long apiece the first season.
I'm like 100% sure that you're wrong.
Well, I think that's all. Join us next week for another great round of reviews.
Yeah. Take it easy. Here's a plant.